My name's Patrick Sherry. I just retired from the fire department about a year and a half ago. I worked for 30 years, mostly Manhattan. Started in East 85th Street, went up to Washington Heights, and then I ended up at 125th Street on the west side. That's where I got retired at. Now I work with the fire safety unit for the last year or so.
That's us.
That's you guys. So they have a bunch of retirees that help out and work. Yes.
My name's Joe Delegati. I'm from the Fire Safety Education Unit, and like Patrick said, we're basically a unit full of veteran firefighters and retirees who've basically, we've been to a lot of jobs, and we've seen, unfortunately, the devastation of a fire. Could be fatal, or just the property damage. And a lot of times, we'll go onto the scene of these things, and after the fact, after the fire marshals are there, and we'll say, we'll have a discussion when we get back to the firehouse. What caused it? What could have been done differently? And it's basically.
How can we make people safer by learning this stuff? We could actually stay at our firehouses and just wait for the runs, or we could actually be a little bit more proactive and get out there in the field. And let's go, to the 5 boroughs in the city of New York, and maybe talk to the people about prevention. Talk to the people about early detection, which is smoke alarms. Which we're gonna give you a number, and you're gonna call on your own, and or in a group, whatever works for you, and we have what's called the Sound the Alarm program. And with that program, we have retired firefighters and also members and volunteers from the American Red Cross who will come to your home. They'll evaluate how many you need, and they'll install them. And the best prices, it's all free. It's all free.
So
it's a really good program.
I want one.
All right.
You gotta call the number. We'll give you the
Because
number.
my
Good job.
landlord has not put one up in my apartment.
That's our complaint that we always hear.
And smoke detectors are the most important thing, the first line of defense.
It's early detection.
The sooner you hear about the fire, the sooner you can react, and that's better for everybody.
And then the last P of fire safety education, we like to talk about planning. Okay, planning, fire drills. Where are we right now?
Big school.
We're in a school, and there's no doubt in my mind, that they have fire drills here, right?
They
Yes.
drill all the time.
Right, to keep everybody safe here. We should do the same at home.
I go to schools and talk to kids about fire safety. I ask them, what are you guys gonna do when there's a fire drill at school? And they all know what they're gonna do when there's a fire drill at school. I say, well, what are you gonna do at home? And they don't have an answer. I say, we gotta come up with a plan, and you gotta practice it, so when an emergency happens, you know what to do. You're not thinking about what to do. So it's important also to know, like Joe was saying about the type of buildings. Part of the plan is to know what type of building you live in. Because you're gonna react differently in the type of building. For some buildings are fireproof, that means the fire will not go from floor to floor to floor. So you could probably shelter in place in your apartments. And so it's important to know what type of building you live in, and you're gonna react differently to that.
Well, when we talk about fire safety, like I said, we start with prevention. And, holiday time. Holiday time now. And, so a lot of people, they'll go out and, they'll buy plants for the holidays. They'll buy trees for the holidays, Christmas trees. But let's make sure that when we purchase these, that they're not dried out. Okay, they're not dried out. When you do, like say if you purchase a Christmas tree, like we used to always do, grab your branches. Now if you rub your hand, I'm not saying you have to really grab it, but just rub your hand on it. Now if all those needles come off in your hand, you know right off the bat that it's dried out. Right off the bat that you're buying a dried out tree. Okay? Or when you're taking it from your car and you're bringing it to your home, and all the needles are on your front lawn or on your front walkway, it's like, wait a sec, all right, we got a dried out tree here. So now the worst thing to do with that is to put hot lights on it. Okay, hot lights, because especially if you had lights from over the years where, they're not LED, they're the regular bulbs, and then maybe they were made for outside. They're not even made for inside. Okay? That causes, believe it or not, those bulbs cause a lot of heat. Okay? Now you got a dried out tree. That could cause a fire. That could cause a fire. So, we hit on certain topics, but depending on what type of, what part of the year it is, we try to emphasize on different things. But, like I said, a dried out tree, a candle that's close to it. Candles are very fine, candles basically.
They cause a lot of fires.
They cause a lot of fires, yeah. They cause a lot of fires, and it's a flame. It's a live flame. So all of these things in combination. Holiday time, we have people over. We have people over. And maybe in your household, nobody smokes cigarettes. Okay? Nobody smokes cigarettes. But maybe during the holidays, you invite people over, and it's really cold outside, and you, against your good judgment, you still don't want, because you usually want to send them out, right? You want to smoke? All right, go outside, be my guest, okay? But maybe against your best judgment, you say, all right, you can smoke inside. But if you do that, make sure that they use a sturdy ashtray, okay, where it doesn't fall off to the side. Okay, maybe on a say a red Solo cup or something like that. Okay, make sure you use a sturdy ashtray. Also, those cigarette butts, before you discard them in some sort of trash receptacle, put a little water in it. Drown them out. Drown them out. A little water in it. Because what could happen is you put that into that trash receptacle, that garbage can, it won't flare up within, it won't flare up right away, but it might take a few minutes. And you might have left the room. You might be cleaning up after everybody goes home. All right, they're out the door. You're in the kitchen, do what you got to do. Okay, and then all of a sudden, inside that trash can, those cigarettes, might be smoldering in there. So drown them out. Drown them out.
Joe, I'm just going to hand this pamphlet out.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
We go through it like page by page, and I'm sure there'll be questions, so we can answer any questions.
Absolutely.
Does anybody need Spanish version? No. This is Spanish.
Seeing the children. Seeing the children. I'm good. Seeing the children. Now, if you do invite somebody else, they do smoke in your home, they do smoke. Or even if you visit somebody, and you bring the kids with you. There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, look, nothing for anything, because you can tell when somebody smokes in the house. I mean, that odor stays, that goes in the carpeting, that goes in the walls. You can tell, okay? But it doesn't hurt to ask either. Does anybody here smoke here? Anybody here smoke? Okay, you just ask. And if they do, please, I have my children here. Could you please leave the matches and lighters that light these cigarettes out of harm's way to my children? Okay? Not on top of the table. Maybe in some drawer or up high. Because, unfortunately, maybe it's not well, I mean, kids are curious. Kids are curious. They want to learn. Kids are curious. But we don't want them picking up those lighters and matches. And there's no doubt in my mind that everybody here has done a great job teaching the children about never play with matches, never play with lighters. But they want to know why.
I'll tear that behind up.
And they want to know why. And they get curious. And usually they're not going to do it right in front of you. They're not going to do it in front of you. They're going to grab it, and especially if, say, more children are with them. They kind of dare each other. It's like, why we won't get in trouble.
It's funny, when I talk to the kids at the school and I say, don't play with matches, they all raise their hand. One says, I play with the matches, this person played with the matches, they all confess to it. They're still doing it. Even though they've been told not to, they still do it. Kids are kids. So it is a dangerous thing.
That's our job as adults, to make sure that they're safe.
I don't know if they're making things up, but at least a few of them, I'm sure they're telling the truth.
Yeah. Usually in the school, what we'll do is we'll actually show them a picture of, we used to have a picture where it was a building, had the fire escapes, and the whole top floor was on fire.